All right, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and today we will be concluding the McFarlane Toys Batman Forever Build-A-Figure Wave by putting together, well, this thing. Right now it's just a bunch of pieces, but we're going to see what it looks like soon enough. So, just for a quick recap, this is the Nightmare Bat from the movie Batman Forever. And for parts, Batman here came with the head and this base here, as well as this thing. We're going to find out what that is soon enough. And then Robin came with the right wing here. And then Riddler came with the body, and Two-Face came with the left wing right there. So, without any further ado, let's put this together. So, I think the thing that'll make the most sense is taking this giant display stand and putting this on here like so. And there we go. And that is the complete figure. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. What we actually have to do is we have to put the head on there. And now it's complete. I'm also kidding. Okay, so what we do, let's take the body and let's take the head. There is a ball joint. And there is a spot to receive said ball joint, so let's just pop that in there. And there we go, it's snapped on, no problem, so there's that. And then let's take the wings here. Let's start with this one. And again, there's a thing there, and whoa. And for both of the wings, the ball socket came in like that, so let's do that. So it'll be easier to put them on, I do believe. So let's just pop this one in. Wait for the thing. Will you go in there? There we go. All right. Yep, there's that one. That's cool. And then we will do the same thing for this one here. So let's just pop it in there. And well then, will you go in there? Will you go in there, good sir? The last one did. Will you go in there too, please? And thank you. There we go. All right. So there's that. And then the final touch is to take that right there, plug it in, and we will theoretically just put it in there like that. Okay. Well, we'll worry about that later. But for right now, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, does this guy look really cool. So for a height measurement, I do have a 12-inch ruler, the same one that I've been using for my reviews, and yeah, he's really big. So this dude is really big. So there is 12 inches and 30 centimeters respectively, going up to about like a little more than halfway. So this guy's really big. Now, as far as how long he is, looks like to the bottom of his feet to the top of his head, looks like he is about 7 3/4 inches, give or take. And that would be about, let's say like 21 and a half centimeters, 20 and a half centimeters, something like that, give or take. So, yeah, this guy, he is really big, and I'm bound and determined to... There we go. I just had to say that I was bound and determined, and there. All right, so there he is compared to the other figures in the wave. Now I feel, and also it would be good to compare it to the Batman Robin Build-A-Figure, which is Mr. Freeze. Now, on a side note, a lot of people are saying that Bane should have been the Build-A-Figure for Batman Robin, but I totally 100% believe that Mr. Freeze was the right choice instead of Bane, because they've already made a whole bunch of Bane figures. They hadn't made a Mr. Freeze figure, and really, like, Mr. Freeze is more iconic for the movie. So I feel like they made the right choice making it Mr. Freeze, just like they made the right choice making this guy the Build-A-Figure for Batman Forever. So what do I think of this guy? I think the aesthetic is definitely on point. He definitely looks the way he should, being a giant bat. I don't know a whole lot about bat anatomy, but I think that this definitely serves the purpose. I like the detail on the wings there of the veins and muscles and all of that. And on the underside as well. That's really cool for both sides there. I like the fur texture that's all over the body. The head looks really good with the red eyes. And he's got some really cool color detail there for the ears, and it is kind of grooved in there as well. It's not just painted. And then his mouth does actually open, so you can have some details there with the tongue, or not really, well, he doesn't really have a tongue, but he does have some gums there, and he does have plenty of teeth. And then if you flip him around, so he does have a tail, and he does have a little bit of a butt. In case you're wondering about that, does he have a butt? He does have a butt, kind of. And then his feet, those look pretty good. And then the display stand that he's on, it makes sense that they gave this to him, and this display stand is really big. For reference, here's a normal DC Multiverse McFarlane display stand. So it's really big in comparison. And yeah, again, here is some reference of what he's like compared to all the other figures. So I think that's pretty good. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, I think the first thing to go over is this ball joint here, because most likely you're going to be displaying him on this. So I think that's pretty good. So you can really turn him around any way you want with that. And then for the head, it can move up about that much and go down about that much, so not very much at all. And it can turn to the side only a little bit too, so it doesn't have a whole lot of clearance, but I think that's okay. The mouth does open, so you can have it go up, you can have it go out that far, you can have it be all the way closed, and you can also have it be like a little bit in between. And if you want to have him talking, you can have him talking too, even though he doesn't talk. In the movie, he just kind of goes, rah, you know, like that. So there's that. And then I was actually a little bit surprised by this because I did look at the pieces separately. The legs do not have articulation. They are stuck like this. Same thing with the tail. So that's just kind of stuck like that, which I guess is okay because it's the back of the figure. And really, it'll make the most sense to have you looking at the front. But yeah, so there's no articulation in the back. So really the only other thing is the wings. So looks like they can go up that far, which is pretty good. And then they can go down about that far. So I think that is pretty good. They do rotate. Okay, yeah, they do go farther down. It's just that with the display stand, yeah, okay. So that's not too bad. And then yeah, they do rotate, so you can sort of have them going this way if you want to have him like this, which I think looks pretty cool, even though that's probably not very anatomically correct for a bat, but I think that does look pretty cool. So yeah, that's about it. I will say that there was one thing that I wish they had done differently with this figure. And that's that if they had it being able to stand up like this and have its head look down a little bit, because anybody who knows Batman Forever most likely knows about the infamous deleted scene of Bruce Wayne in the cave, and there's the giant bat that comes up to him, and it doesn't come up to him like this. It does it first, but then it stands up and is looking at him basically like this while the rest of its body is up like that. So I do kind of wish that they were able to retool it so that I could do that. Maybe you could with like customizing if you like cut around that. I don't know all the details. I don't really recommend that because you might get hurt if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do know what you're doing, let me know in the comments. Is there a way that you can take this figure and retool it so that its head will be like this, but the rest of its body will be up like that, and it can be facing Batman, so that he can be Batman and not Bruce Wayne. But yeah, so other than that, like, do I think that the value is here? I mean, because essentially this is a $20 figure, because all of these 4 figures were in total $100. So you pay $25 for each of them and you get this guy. Now, do I think that that's worth it? I would say so. This is definitely a lot more of a display piece, whereas what they normally do with Build-A-Figures are more of like actual action figures. So It definitely depends on what you're interested in. Now, I think that for this guy, it makes more sense for it to be like this, more like a statue that can move its wings. I think that that makes more sense than having it be an actual action figure. So I think that they made the right call here. Overall, I would say that this whole wave is worth it, especially if you're a fan of the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, more specifically this one in particular. I know that as a fan of that movie personally, I think that this wave definitely did what it was supposed to do. Would I say that's the absolute best thing ever? Well, I don't know, because I do have plans to make a comparison of this wave and the other Joel Schumacher wave. So stay tuned for that. But would I recommend this wave? I would say so. Especially if you're trying to make a Schumacher-verse type thing or just a movie Batman thing. Like if you're trying to do a comics thing, then maybe not, because you could pretend that this is Man-Bat, but that doesn't really work all that well. This is really meant to be more of a movie type thing. So if you're into the comics and you're trying to make a comics collection, I would say maybe skip this one or maybe get just like a couple of them. Maybe like a couple figures, like the Robin in particular looks good, and then like maybe one of these two guys, one of the bad guys. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I would say that for a movie Batman collector or a Schumacher verse specifically collector, I would definitely recommend this. So I think it's worth a pickup when this wave eventually goes back in stock. And yeah, so that's about all I have for right now. So if you did enjoy this, then do be sure to leave a like, or else this guy might come after you and be like, rah, like that. But whatever, that is all up to you. So if you do want to see a comparison between this wave and the Batman Robin wave, then do be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. That will be coming soon. And other than that, I will see you all later. Goodbye.